thanks for joining us on HRTV Small Talk. I'm Sabrina.
I am Celie, and I hope this week has been good for you. Let's start off with one of the biggest news we have this week, which is the Singapore Budget 2011.
It was announced last Friday, so basically in a nutshell what it means is that employers can expect increases in both CPF contributions by employers and also the levy for foreign workers. So there is also some one-off measures that the government is providing, and that includes things like corporate tax rebates. So I think that will help cushion a bit of the blow.
It's 20%, right? I heard the corporate tax rebate. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty cool, and I think the government is pumping in about $1 billion for the productive incentive scheme.
Yeah. So the CPF increment would be about 0.5% for employers, so that brings the total to 36%. And also the levy will be increased at 6 month intervals between January 2012 and July 2013.
Okay, that's for foreign workers.
Yes.
Alright, okay, so when will all this take effect?
So all the changes will take effect September this year, so you have a bit of time to prepare, I guess.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I mean the budget, there are other more measures coming out from the budget, so interested viewers would probably like to go online to our website to check it out.
Yes, definitely. So moving on to our next story, which is still about money. 1 in 3 Singaporeans are ready to retire, but only 14% think that they're financially ready.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So I guess this would mean that Singaporeans have to stay in the workforce longer?
Yeah, probably, and that I think if most in the survey, most of them want to retire before 60, right?
Yes. So we ran an article about this story, of course, and it carries some tips on how you as an employer can help prepare your older, more mature employees for retirement.
Yeah, I mean the thing is to help them build 2 or 3 nest eggs, right, and prepare for their retirement.
Yep, that's right. So moving on, we actually also ran a story about virtual job fairs. So I think in a previous episode we spoke about how people are putting up online CVs, so I think the natural progression would be more online fairs.
Yeah. So you attended one virtual career fair recently, right? How was the experience?
It was interesting. I was actually quite surprised at how realistic a virtual fair looks like. So the website makes it look like you're going into the fair, and then you click on the booth to zoom in. And now it's really interesting because you get to do video chat with HR professionals, and then you get a welcome message from the CEO. All this, which I guess you can't really get going to a traditional fair.
Okay, so as in an HR professional will be at another line on the internet to talk to you anytime.
Yes, so that means the HR professional would be in his or her office, and then the candidate could be at home or at a Starbucks or wherever, and then they can just have a conversation.
So it's like potential candidates have 24/7 access to companies, and then companies ambassadors can really represent the branding well. Okay, that's interesting. And how many companies have attended the fair or are promoting that?
For the virtual fair that I attended, which is iFair, there were 49 companies, so which is quite impressive for a first-time event.
Perhaps to attract the tech-savvy Gen Ys, this is probably the way to go.
Yep, definitely. Our last story actually is about, it's a very bizarre story about dress codes. A German dentist has actually changed the dress code at her practice so that all female employees are wearing low-cut dresses.
Oh, okay. And this is in Germany, so it's one of those dresses with frilly beads, like those barmaids, barmaids.
So she was actually inspired when she went to Oktoberfest. So she claims that it is to help her patients get distracted so that they won't feel the pain. So it's like
Mother Nature's anesthesia.
I guess, but it makes you wonder whether it's like a gimmick to get more patients or if there's actually some psychological truth to the whole thing.
I guess, it's like when you're distracted and your focus, your mind's focused on something else, you tend not to realize what's happening. That's why some people would want to pose.
Yeah, so unsurprisingly, the number of patients, and they're all male, have gone up.
Yeah.
So maybe dentists in Singapore would like to considered.
Yes.
Also, moving on with a bit more dress code news, we will be running a story sometime next week about dress codes in Singapore and how more companies should actually enforce one. So just look out for that. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, and then also follow us on Twitter for the latest updates, and also check out our blog where we have past episodes of Small Talk and of course video interviews with HR professionals, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we have a couple of interesting videos with CEOs. One with HCL Technologies. He's the vice chairman and the CEO. So, and he was talking a lot about how he hires and the question that he will ask and the type of candidates that he looks out for. Yeah.
So just some tips for you. I guess that's all the time that we have for this episode. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.